Hello there and welcome to a packed stadium here in Dortmund, West Germany for the final of the Baltic Cup, one of handball's premier tournaments. Over the past week, 7 of the sport's top countries, East Germany, West Germany, Germany and the USSR, both hoping to be this year's Baltic champions. As we join the match, it's 10 minutes into the first half and it's all square at 3 goals each. The West Germans are playing in white from left to right. Your match commentator is Martin Tyler, with analysis from Paul Bray, one of Britain's leading handball experts.
The Soviet Union, the new Olympic champions. And West Germany really trying to rebuild the level of their international team to compete in the next Olympic finals. And they go 4-3 in front here with a goal from Christian Fitzek.
An excellent goal there, but bad cover by the Russians behind there. They should really have closed up a lot earlier than that, as a matter of course, and not waited for the line player to move in there. But Fitzek taking full advantage of that.
The tall number 10, Atavin, 2 meters tall in fact, and a prolific goal scorer over the past few days in this competition. Karchakevich, the number 5, a survivor from the Soviet team that took silver in the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. That was something of a shock when they were pipped in the final by East Germany. Wonderful goal by Alexander Tuchkin, who really caught the eye in Seoul, and that was shooting of the very highest quality. Left-handed Tuchkin, and that sped into the corner. So it's 4 goals each. No goal this time.
That was barging by Neitzel, running into the defender.
Well, it's been nerve-wracking down on the West German bench as this tournament's approached its climax, because the semi-final was a match really to behold against Poland.
So West Germany ball account here opting for a slightly flatter defence to that they used in the semi-final against Poland, but nevertheless still cutting the wings.
But not cutting out the longer range shooting of Tuchkin. What can you do about that, Paul?
Well, really, it's down just to the defenders there, just not going out and giving him too much room. It's not so much a fault with the system of defence as rather with just the defender not actually meeting him solidly enough at 9 or 10 metres. He just hesitated too long and Tuchkin took full advantage.
The Soviets still coached by Yevtushenko, who's had some downs as well as ups in that particular job.
Well, the Russians there having trouble coping with Fitzek on the line, who seems to be running right behind.
Good work by Andrei Lavrov. Just recently, sponsorship has been allowed on shirts in international handball, and it's interesting to see that the Soviet Union have taken up that particular way of raising some money. The influence of Mr. Gorbachev extending to the handball court, Paul.
It would certainly appear so, yes.
Well, Tuchkin, well worth sponsoring, one would think. But that's good work by Stefan Hecker, the hero of the semi-final.
Also the defence getting a little wise to him now, and much further out there he was actually met at about 10 metres, and that makes all the difference. It actually put him off enough to make it an easier save for Hecker. You must bear in mind that the shots are probably going at something like 70 miles an hour, 120 kilometres an hour.
West Germany on the attack. Trying to go around the outside unsuccessfully. Kashikevich, who survived all the team changes. And there have been plenty leading up to Seoul.
And a clear penalty. The Soviet Union very much the team on form at the moment. In the opening match, in fact, in the Olympics, they beat the reigning world champions Yugoslavia by 24 goals to 18. A tremendous performance.
Well, Neitzel is getting the 2-minute penalty for the foul on Sharovarov. And it's wide from Atavin. He looks pretty philosophical about it, but possibly Hecker's reputation helping him then, putting off Atavin. West Germany still a goal down.
Well, the Russians obviously opting there to mark out Schwalb out of the game. They're playing a 5-0-1 defense. And they've shifted it, actually. The front player has now moved across. It's still 5-1 defense.
Number 11, Hans-Jürgen Müller. Played too much in the semi-final. And here comes a Soviet break. Kashikevich getting the pass through to Atavin. He made it look very easy indeed. 6-4. No challenge until it was far too late. And a 2-minute penalty here for Sharovarov. So the Soviets are 2 goals up, but a player down. Bravo!
Excellent shooting there, excellent. But really the defence is standing there watching him, and they should really have played a lot harder in defence there. Gave him a free shot.
These very clearly the 2 best nations in the Baltic Cup this year, both coming into the final unbeaten. Atavin feinting to shoot and then slipping the pass away. And the break for West Germany can't lead to a goal. The post, or maybe the top of the post and the junction with the crossbar there, preventing a breakaway goal when the Soviet Union lost concentration for a moment, most unlike them.
Can the West Germans take advantage?
Good work by Lavrov, using up a few more seconds.
I can't help but feel that the Germans would do better to try and get the attack in a little bit closer, especially as they're 1 man up. That kind of distance shot was, if anything, just taking a chance.
Roth has come back on in place of Clem. Tuchkin, a very gifted all-round sportsman, who plumped for handball in the end as his #1 sport. Timentsev, the #9. Atavin wearing 10. Kashikevich, #5. Well, West Germany will be pleased to keep the Soviet Union within range. And they've done that through the stage in the match, the opening period, where if there were to be any nerves, they might have been exposed. Schwabel, who looks on song, and West Germany score again. Clem, who got the winning goal in the semi-final, hits the target once more, just inside the post.
And an excellent feint there at the front, just before the final pass there, making it look as if the ball was going into the line player. And the Russian defender staying back to cover the line player.
But the Soviet Union are back in front. Tuchkin. So it's West Germany 6, the Soviet Union 7 in this Baltic Cup final. We've more excitement from the first half here on Eurosport coming up in a couple of minutes. Final here on Eurosport. West Germany 6, the Soviet Union in red 7. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. I'm sure that West Germany will see this game really as a barometer as to what they've achieved. Atavin, who's a real handful for them. No goal.
Barging his way through again.
But here is a goal that brings West Germany level from Fitzek.
Excellent goal, and very good psychologically for the West Germans to be here in the final today, especially just barely a month away from the B World Championships, where they will be hoping to not only win the gold medal, but of course go back up into the A groups.
And get to grips with the Soviet Union a bit more often. Tuchkin, good block. And it's led to a terrific break and a goal from Schwenker. Well, that was defence that led to a counter-attack of a devastating nature. Although Schwenker, the scorer, limping slightly. I don't know whether he might have tweaked a muscle there as he got away. And the lead that Schwenker had just given West Germany, protected for the moment by Hecker's save. 8-7.
Well, the Russians there, plenty of open play at the back, nice crossovers. Playing the ball around nicely and waiting for the right chance, but on that occasion, it wasn't to be.
12. Quick passing. Schwalb. Here's Quarty. Oh, brilliantly done. I just heard the West German commentator alongside me shout, "Super Tor!" A super goal. And it was certainly that from the little man.
Indeed it was a tremendous goal, especially as the Russian defender was interfering, pushing him, but he still managed to keep enough balance to blast the ball over the top of the Russian goalkeeper's head. Very good goal indeed.
And West Germany lead by 2. And are we on our way to a major upset? Well, there's a long way to go yet. But West Germany will draw great heart at what they've achieved so far in this Baltic Cup final. And Hecker has played a major role again. The follow-up was too quick for him from Karszkiewicz after he'd knocked away the first effort from Tuchkin. Oh, Yevtushenko, the coach, trying to lift his troops once more.
Well, the Russians still on a 5-1 defence here. And a wild shot there. That's Neitzel.
And in for a breakaway goal is Roth. And the Soviet Union having an inquest. How did that happen? A goal lost here. And I do believe Karshakevich, the old hand, the old man of the team, was partly responsible.
Absolutely, they're not looking out, not seeing Roth just creep up on them, passing the ball too casually. And it's a penalty.
And the Soviet Union trailing 10-8. Call up Atavine.
Well, the Germans are playing a much deeper defense. They have more players up on the 9 meter, trying to hold back the jump shooters, and as a result, they're giving more room to the line players. And that last penalty, a good example.
The task of pulling a goal back for the Soviet Union. It's turning out to be his tournament.
Tremendous penalty save, reminiscent of the Poland semi-final.
So the Soviet Union still 2 down, and Atavine might lose the job as the 7-meter man. And that's 2 he's missed in the first half. Neitzel trying to make the inroads that time. West Germany must try again. Infringement given against the number 17 Clem, but it mattered not because Hecker was there again.
That was some good defense by the Russians there, closing the gap very quickly and forcing the Germans into making the area. And Clem running straight into the block.
Guati, the tricky man. Now, was he fouled there in the act of shooting? I think he was. It's a penalty to West Germany, and it's all going their way in the first half.
It's quite tremendous. So despite that, he still had enough balance to nearly get the ball in on the lob.
It's Schwalbe. It's 11-8 as the half-time hooter goes. The 11, the Soviet Union 8. Can the Russians come back? We've got the whole exhilarating Baltic Cup final between West Germany and the Soviet Union. If you've just joined us, the score is West Germany 11, the Russians 8, and the Germans are playing in white, defending the goal to the right.
Well, the Russians have switched their attack now, 4-2 attack.
But whatever attacking methods they're using, they're finding Hecker a big obstacle. Paul, you said earlier that the West Germans will be pleased to have reached the final. Do you think now they can really believe they're in a position to beat the Soviet Union?
I think they can. They've played many times over the past few years in big competitions, and the Soviet Union's usually come out on top. But I think really that the way the West Germans are coming, and with the young players coming along, that they will have that possibility quite soon, I'm sure. In fact, with West Germany probably going back up to the A Group World Championships next month, the A groups will be played the World Championships in Czechoslovakia next February. I really would like to say what the result would be if these two teams met again.
Well, it's going to be hard enough to predict the result here because the West Germans are on an incredible high. They go 12-8 in front, Schwalbe, and he does look a high-quality player, Paul.
He certainly does. An excellent player. He really is one of the new stars of German handball, and will no doubt be one of the big names at the B World Championships.
A 2-minute penalty with Nestorov and Ulrich Roth dispatched to the bench. So we've got a short-handed game at the moment. And look, you can immediately see that the extra space is there.
Well, an excellent gamble there by the Germans. They didn't sit back and wait, even though they were still level on players. They actually went out and took the initiative.
Well, a good save with the right boot by Lavrov.
But the Germans certainly prepared to take a few risks and go out and play deep in defense. And that really is opening up the game a lot, as the Russians are having to move the ball around and do far more running and far more work to get around this defense. This could pay dividends later on.
Just to remind you, still 12-8. The Soviets did put the ball in a moment or two ago, but it didn't count. Wherever it comes, with whatever power, Hecke seems to be able to react. And that one, when he looked pretty helpless, went away from the goal. And great annoyance on the part of the Soviet Union then that a chance went a-begging. Atavin.
And he'd certainly beaten Hecke. He was going the wrong way and the space was there to put the ball away. And no wonder he's so annoyed with himself.
Flicked away by Mastenko. And the goal for the free player, Sharavarov. The 9th for the Soviet Union. But West Germany have 12.
Oh, lovely goal there. Feinting the lob just before blasting the ball around the side of the goalkeeper. Very nicely played.
And all done in midair. The top exponents here do make it look very easy indeed.
There were steps first. The goal doesn't count. You'll have to come back again and take a free throw.
It's certainly a game that everyone can play, though. Basic athletic skills, running, jumping, throwing, catching, all put together at high speed with a fair amount of legitimate body contact.
Well, the Russians still playing that 5-1 defense with particular attention on Neitzel.
There's a good view of how the Soviets are defending.
Well, you can see Fitzek on the line there is finding plenty of space. If only the ball could come in.
Yes, he found the space, but they couldn't find him.
And running out of time. Good defense by the Russians.
Karshakevich. Terrific piece of work once more, and I'm really running out of superlatives for this man. He's got a touch of the showman about him as well. He acknowledges the crowd when they roar their approval of his sharp reflexes. 70 miles an hour, you do well to see it, let alone stop it. Tushin, and he didn't see that one. Well, he can't stop them all.
That's right, Hecke reacting there to the first feinted shot, but not seeing the second one come through the defense there.
Atavin, the scorer. Oh, West Germany still lead. 12-10. Oh, it's 13-10. And another example of the high-quality handball expertise of Schwalb.
Well, the defense there really should have stopped him earlier. They let him run across and gave him much too much space. But nevertheless, an excellent shot there. The goalkeeper pretty much unsighted. There wasn't too much he could do about that.
Well, as in all sports that have goals in them, there's always two sides to the story. The defenders will always say they're at fault, and the attackers would always say it's brilliant play by them. And somewhere in the middle lies the truth, usually.
That's right.
But what Hecke can tell his grandchildren is that in this competition he became a national handball hero for West Germany. Rott, well known of course. Oh dear, lost control as he came down. Vícek. And again that feinting skill from Sharovarov.
Well, I think Hecke may be feeling that the winger had his foot on the line when he shot. Let's have another look. No.
Good goal.
Well, Hecke certainly did look a bit upset about that. Maybe he felt he'd landed then, before getting rid of the ball.
13-11.
Well, the Germans quick switch onto a 4-2 attack. Quattro running around, Quarti, I beg your pardon, running around and putting himself on the line there to switch to a 4-2 attack. And still Neitzel is kept out of the game. You can see Uwe Schwenker, the wing there, trying to come out and help free Neitzel of his defender.
Dörhofer had the shot. But the Soviet Union beginning to lift the pace.
Nestorov had an enormous amount of space on the line there as well.
And this reduces the deficit to just one.
Well, a tremendous comeback by the Russians here.
Well, they were 12-8 down. Kral trying to work it onto his left side again, and he got a bang in the face. Some concern shown by Chumentsev. Fumble there by Neitzel, but he got away with it.
It was unlucky because he had managed to get away from Chumentsev, his defender. It's almost desperation shooting here.
And I just begin to wonder, as the Soviets tied up through Atevin, whether West Germany were beginning to believe, or maybe lose a little bit of the belief that they had earlier in this final, feeling inwardly that the Soviets were getting stronger.
Well, a good goal there by Atevin, one of the new Russian stars. But also good work, one must say, by the line player, who actually put a block on the line to give him plenty of space to score from the wing.
Yes, Atevin, who's only 21. A big lad.
Well, the play breaking down with the Germans a bit, I must say. They're not moving the ball around as swiftly as they had done. Well, having said that, penalty.
Not much doubt about it either.
Absolutely not. A very bad foul. They're pulling his arm back from behind just as he was shooting. A very bad foul indeed.
Quarti, that tiny figure in wide positions for West Germany. That sharp change of direction that his physique allows him to do. And he took his marker all over the place. But the penalty hasn't been given.
Well, what happened obviously is that the German winger Quarti was actually over the line before he had his arm taken, so he committed the first foul, and the Russians therefore taking the ball back. Well, can this help the Germans settle back in again?
Just been an awkward phase for them. Nesterov falls into the area. Dragged down. Psychologically, it's just swung away from West Germany at the moment, but it's still anybody's final. Kuchkin shot, and it came off the post and actually struck Hecker in the face. Welcome back to the closing 15 minutes of this Baltic Cup final between the Soviet Union and West Germany, being played here in Dortmund in West Germany. 13 all. Very tense. The West Germans have already been through extra time in the semi-final when they just saw off Poland. But the Soviet Union, who have trailed throughout the second half, score through Atavin. He's starting to run free, Paul.
He certainly is, and again the defenders, they're not picking him up, and he's a powerful man, and he really managed to push through those two defenders, but they should really have connected with him and stopped him earlier.
Crowd. And Hecker still worried about the left eye, got the ice pack on it. Well, how do you make any saves? With two eyes is amazing, but with one would be highly improbable.
That's right. Although, mind you might say a lot of it is instinct as well.
Well, they could do nothing about that, and I hardly need to tell you the scorer. Atavin once more. And the Soviet Union putting on the power now.
Well, the West Germans are far less fluid at the back now. Their play is broken down a bit. And the Russians taking full advantage of this, still playing a 5-1 defense and working it very well indeed. But the Germans need to compose themselves after conceding 2 fast breaks.
And the goal for themselves wouldn't come amiss.
I can't help but feel that they're maybe not using their wings as much as they should do. When they are using their wings, they're getting the results, but it seems at the moment as if they're doing crossovers and double crossovers in the middle, but they're not breaking through this solid Russian defense, and they ought to get the ball moving around a lot more.
Yes, they do seem to be playing into the Russian hands at the moment. Clem. Just for a moment, Neitzel was free, but the ball was touched away from him. Clem. The left-handed Dürhofer trying to come in, following the example of Kuchkin, and shoot from a little further out. The yellow card is shown to the over-enthusiastic Yevtushenko, who apologises to the crowd.
Quite a character, Yevtushenko, he really is. No doubt one of the best known and one of the most experienced coaches in the world.
And maybe that's a sign, the way he took the rebuke then from the referee, that he believes things are going well for his team. He looked pretty relaxed.
Well, the West Germans getting themselves into all kinds of trouble. The players not really seeming to help each other, running into 6 meters so that they're not free to receive the ball and leaving 1 or 2 players at the back to do all the work. And the Russians seem to have got the measure of them now.
And they emphasise the point that Paul Bray was making with another splendid goal. Sharovarov, who's been a major figure along with Atavin in the striking power of the Soviet Union in the second half. His 3rd goal since half-time. It's looking a very different game now.
Well, the Germans moving further and further back to give themselves room.
Clem. It's found the far corner.
And a nicely played goal there, good crossover, drawing the front defender away and giving space for that good goal.
So the gap is back to 2. Up again. Well, Nesterov had the first shot. And as the ball broke loose, West Germany found themselves with the goalkeeper totally off balance. And it's going to be a penalty. So desperate were the defenders around Hecker to try and stop the shot coming in. It's still with Atavin, and this time he gets it right. It's been a good week for Atavin in terms of goal scoring. Likely now to finish the top scorer in the competition. Oh, against the post when unlucky. West Germany needed that one to go in. Sharabarov.
That's a free throw. The West Germans there on the last attack trying the same move that got them the goal they attacked before, but switching the pass at the last minute. Frank Law there, going a long way out in defence. It's giving some room back on the line, and the Russians taking advantage of this, and they've switched, playing their 4-2 attack.
A week of top-class handball here in West Germany, coming towards the very climax now. 8 teams started out, including a West German B team, as well as the A squad that we're seeing here. So unless West Germany can do something pretty spectacular, it's not going to be a hometown win. The Soviet Union playing some more authoritative handball at the moment. And the crowd's frustration with their team becoming more and more evident. Tuchkin, wonderful block. Got both hands to it, did Hecker, and made sure it stayed out. And if anyone can inspire the others, it'll be the goalkeeper, and look at that response. So maybe it's not all over yet. A goal from Roth.
And West Germany is still very much with a chance now, coming back into the game maybe.
And Roth ran the length of the court to congratulate Hecker on the save just before that got West Germany going in the attack that led to his goal. Well, things do change very quickly in handball. Well, that was an off-the-ball incident. Kaskachevich starting the move. The Soviets hope will lead to another goal. That's what's happened. 18-15, Nesterov on the line, able to turn. beat the advancing Hecker.
Well, that's always a danger when you're playing this kind of defense. Frank Lohr there is being asked to play out front, but he's leaving plenty of space behind, and it's a little untidy covering behind. The Russian back players are running in there, and they're just leaving so much space for their line players as the West German defense is drawn out of position.
Well, it was just a token wave at the ball by Lavrov, but he was able to survive. The shot hit the post.
A nice move though, nevertheless, nice crossover.
And plenty for West Germany to feel pleased about in their performance in the final. Indeed, their performance all week. But it looks as though the Soviet Union are going to come through unscathed throughout this week of handball. The margin is 4 now. Atavin has been a marksman of too high a quality, really, for West Germany. Just found the perfect spot again.
Well, this won't help the Germans at all, this, for their concentration. They're not helping themselves at all.
And I think disputing decisions in terms of disappointment now. It did look for a while as though they were going to topple the Olympic champions here. But unless we get a real salvo of scoring at this end, it's not going to happen. Oh, that's a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. If that's going to be the finale for West Germany, what a wonderful way to do it. Durhofer.
And the Russian keeper there caught well off his line, out of position.
There are 4 minutes left. West Germany are trailing by 3. But there's a relaxed look about the Soviet Union players and indeed their style of play, which suggests maybe more problems at this end of the court rather than around the goal guarded by Lavrov. Kushkin. Quickly moving the ball again. Tarshakevich, the old fox.
And I must say that looked quite acrobatic from here.
He's suggesting it was a dive, Paul. Well, that was a dive of a legitimate kind by Hecker. Down to prevent another goal and set West Germany up on the break, although the Soviets are back and now back in 4th.
Well, there was far more to be made of that last attack. It just seemed to stop at the wrong moment.
Ran out of ideas and possibly ran out of nerve as well. Clem. And again.
Well, the Russians have got the measure of this. They can see what's happening all the time, with Neitzel running off to the right-hand side, trying to draw that front defender away to bring Klemmer into a good shooting position. But they're covering him quite well, and they don't seem to be troubled by that anymore.
Well, the Soviet Union have worked this one out pretty successfully after some difficult moments. We move into the last 2 minutes, and another trophy is beckoning for Yevtushenko. Kushkin. Well, he leaves us with another example of the awesome power in that left arm. Scored spectacularly on several occasions in the first half, and back in the groove there.
Finding the weak spot just above Hecker, the top right-hand side.
Lavrov, and good defending as the rebound came out by the Soviets. They can look for another goal. It was...
Yes, judging that Nesterov had in fact touched the ground before he let the ball go. But nevertheless, he was fouled in the process.
And the penalty fired home by Atavine. And the Soviet Union with a 5-goal success in the way they put it together in the second half, where their supreme skills, really, they've just known too much for West Germany, who've chased and harassed and indeed responded to their successful first half, but they haven't been able to respond with quite enough clout in the end. And Lavrov finding it easier to spot the shots and save them.